A lot of these scams will use words of urgency. A lot of people are in a hurry and they'll say, oh my goodness, I don't want my account to be blocked. We want you to take your time and read it and realize that there's something fishy.
What we do learn about U.S. history in terms of, slavery, civil rights movement, what happened with Native Americans in this country as, pilgrims moved in, a lot of it is downplayed. And we don't learn nearly enough of what actually happened and how any of that stuff is carried out.
Because of the tens of thousands of student, employee, alumni, and other email accounts on our network, Montgomery College is a ripe target for email hackers and cyber attackers. But MC's Office of Information Technology is busy keeping our network safe. Connecting with us to discuss these internet safeguards is Annie Shane, a cyber defense analyst at Montgomery College. Annie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
What does a cyber defense analyst do at Montgomery College?
Our primary responsibilities are to protect college data, and we do this through using our email filter and other network systems, but mainly to keep data secure and functional.
How often are cyber attack attempts made against the MC network, and what are some of the different kinds of online scams you catch trying to attack the college network?
The attacks occur daily, and majority of them are through email because that is the most effective target for attackers. The types of scams that or email threats that we receive are job opportunity scams, emails that are designed to what we call credential harvesting. They seek to get your login credentials to MyMC and Office 365. Gift card scams, where they'll ask if the person, the recipient, they'll say, are you available? Just quick words, short and sweet, to get your attention. And most often the sending email will have the display name as the manager of that recipient. So the recipient doesn't realize that it is actually from a Gmail account. They just see the display name there that, oh, this is my manager. She wants to know if I'm available. I better answer quickly. And then the recipient will say, yes, I'm available. What can I do for you? And then the sender will say, I need gift cards totaling $500. I'm in a meeting. I can't talk now. I can't answer my phone. Please go and purchase these. I'll reimburse you later. Fortunately, as far as we know, we have not had anyone fall for this scam, but they have engaged in the dialogue, the back and forth. There are others such as update your account with a new password. You're required to change your password, and that's what we call credential harvesting, where they will get your credentials. And then once they have that, they'll have access to your account, use your account to either phish other people or scam others. Another is a shared document. Most folks here at the college will use shared document links to collaborate and work on documents, and those most often, once you click the link, will mirror the Office 365 login page, and which is also another credential harvesting. You'll enter your MyMC credentials, and then the attacker has your credentials.
So, Annie, from what I am hearing, we need to pay attention when we are replying our emails, right? Because, especially if you use the name of our supervisor or somebody right? We just, hit that reply, and depending on the circumstance that we are dealing with, we might just fall for it.
You're right. You hit the nail on the head there when you said we need to pay attention. And most often when people do fall for these phishing emails, that's the first thing they'll say. They'll say, I was in a hurry and I didn't, I wasn't able to take, or I didn't take the time to really see that. But now that you point that out, it's right in front of me, the clue, So.
Exactly. And what things do MC students and employees need to be alert for to make sure they don't fall for an email scam or other cyber attack?
First of all, to take your time, we have a report phishing button on your Outlook toolbar. And if you're using Outlook on the web, it is also there. The reporting button sends the email to IT security. We receive it and we're able to analyze the email in more detail. It provides us the original email headers of who sent it. We can actually see the link. We take that link and we do some analysis to find out if it's fraudulent, malicious attachment, if there's malware. So reporting is the number one thing. We don't expect everyone to know what to do. We know that there's a lot going on and this is not their profession, but you don't have to. Report it and we'll figure it out for you. If it's a legitimate message and there's not anything malicious, we'll send it back to you. We'll write back and say, thanks for reporting. We analyzed this message and we can confirm that it was sent by so-and-so and that the link is not malicious.
Mm-hmm. And what should students and employees do if they notice one of the signs of a scam or attack?
Report it. Do not click the links. Do not click the link. Do not click the link. Report it. And we will address the issue. And the way we do that, when it is malicious, that link, it's a credential harvesting or the like, we can block that link at the firewall. That way, if somebody does click on it, they're not going to be able to get to that link. It's not going to work. We can also block the sending email address. That way, if they try and respond back, that attacker won't be able to respond back to them because our recipient won't receive it.
Annie, what other ways can we protect ourselves?
That's a good question. We offer two-factor authentication here at the college, which is an added layer of security to protect your MyMC account and Office 365 account. It is mandatory already for employees, but for students, we'd like to let them know to opt in and sign up, enroll. That way, when in the event that somebody does get your credentials, they will not have that second factor, which is your phone. And the way two-factor authentication works is you either enter a passcode or you can use the Duo Push, which is the recommended method. It's the easiest. And then the attacker won't have that second factor. So they can't get into your account.
Mm-hmm. I see. And how else can MC employees and the public in general better arm themselves against cyber scams?
Pay attention, from what I've already mentioned, but also we offer training in the form of 5-minute modules. They're quick and easy. You can find them in MC Learns. They're provided by SANS. They're a industry-leading training company on cybersecurity and other products, but they're very good. And the training is short. Even though it's short, it's very informative. It tells you how to review a link and some other clues to look for. If you don't know that sender, you didn't ask for that shared document, don't click on it. Don't click on an email expecting to figure it out. Some people think, oh, I don't know who this is, and they keep going further and further in to try and figure out who that person is and why they received it in the first place. But that's not what we want you to do. We want you to report it and let us figure it out for you.
Sounds like a great advice. And do you have any final words of info or advice for the MC community?
To please report. Can't say that enough. When people report the email, we can prevent the other users receiving the same email and block those attempts. So my final advice is report, report, report.
Annie, thank you for being here and for protecting Montgomery College internet and email users.
Thanks for having me.
If you want more information about MC network security, please visit montgomerycollege.edu and search for Security and IT Standards. Stay safe.
Hello, my name is Carolina Galeano from MCTV, and we're here to have a conversation on what does it mean to be colorblind? What does it mean to be color brave? Our nation has undergone a series of events that has forced us to face and listen to a number of voices on the issue of race. And so here we have with us today three voices from our Montgomery College community who will share and have a conversation about what they think about this and a little bit more to empower us with information, with knowledge, and maybe a little bit of inspiration too. I would love for everybody in this conversation to introduce themselves and also just tell us what is your role here at Montgomery College as well. And I will probably step out and let you all talk and come right in whenever I feel like I need to continue the conversation. Please go ahead. Vilma, if you could start, and then Vincent, and then Kim.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Carolina, MCTV. Thank you for having me. My name is Vilma Bond. Vilma Simon Bond Simon is my middle name. And actually my role at Montgomery College is that I just recently graduated in the spring 2020 graduation. But I do feel that I can make myself available. That would be my role. To make myself available to participate in any activity that the college may have at this time, as long as the opportunity presents itself. Thank you for having me.
Congratulations, Vilma, on your graduation, recent graduation. And
thank you,
for having me here at MC. My name is Vincent Atandi. I'm a history professor at Montgomery College and teaching mostly African American history, but also US history. And I'm the director of our Institute for Race, Justice, and Civic Engagement.
Hello, and thank you again for having me here today. My name is Kimberly Puglia. I recently graduated from MC with my degree in media broadcast with a concentration in television, and I'm also a production aide for MCTV. So I'm really excited to be here today and to talk with everyone.
Since we all are in this space of academia, we're college students, we work at the college, we teach at the college, I'd love to get your perspective on how this idea of color blindness shows up in the context of higher education. Is it helping, is it hurting equity among students of color? Maybe we can start with you, Professor Ntandi.
Yeah, again, I'm going to go back to, should we be trying to find a colorblind education system? No. It's almost as if the words diversity and inclusion now become, the text words to throw in at any school system. It's the idea that, we can have scholarships, great, that's charity. Charity is not a substitute for justice, right? And so what does it mean? So when we look at, we can start at the very elementary level, right? And when you have textbooks that are being mass manufactured by school boards that are saying that slaves immigrated here to find better jobs, or completely ignore parts of the African diaspora, when when children are trying to find themselves in these books and can't find themselves. When we have a system in which in fourth grade we still have half the kids with pilgrims and half are Native Americans with their paper construction hats, acting as if everybody got along, and that's the reality. Learning about founding fathers, but then just glossing over the rape of female slaves and what they have done in this country. When we ignore those things, we reward conformity in this country, right? We have this tunnel vision for our students. Do not think critically. Think of the U.S. as U.S. exceptionalism and never question that. And then that goes on with state curriculums. And then when you get into college, it can stem from all different things. We need more classes. Like in the 60s, students like Kimberly were coming out in the 60s and saying, we need more classes taught by professors that look like us and that are dealing with different courses that look at history from our point of view. Chicano studies, Native American studies, Black studies. This is where those things happen. So we need more of those types of courses.
I wanted to jump in on that because I completely agree. Actually, one of the notes that I had made was piggybacking off of what you said about, I guess, wealthier areas versus, areas that might need a little bit more help. I think one of the big things about that too is like the underrepresentation of students in honors and advancement placement classes. I forget the statistic, but throughout the country, it's shown that there is like a lack of representation of, Black students and, students of color in these classes, and, it's a lack of opportunity due to socioeconomics and proximity of where you live. But to essentially answer the question, I would say a lot of what we're taught about the history that goes on in this country, most of our lives is definitely not adequate at all. A lot of it, I would say, is skewed and, inaccurate. And sometimes, in my personal experiences, like some of our own educators are to blame. For example, I did have a teacher at some point in one of my U.S. history classes, instead of saying, enslaved Africans or slaves, he tried to downplay the whole lesson and say, housework or, maids or whatever the case may be. Trying to call him out on that was, really difficult because, I guess the school was kind of backing him up and whatever the case may be. And what we do learn about U.S. history in terms of, slavery, civil rights movement, what happened with Native Americans in this country as, pilgrims moved in, a lot of it is downplayed. And we don't learn nearly enough of what actually happened and how any of that stuff is carried up.
Actually, I agree with both of you, Kimberly and Professor Vincent. I do agree that, Black history has to be taught more in the United States. I only came to America in 1989, and I just found out last week about the Black Wall Street. It just blew me. I was like, what? They just came in and killed everybody, and then threw them all in a mass grave. The Black Wall Street. I never heard of it. I've been in this country 30-something years, never heard of it. So yes, I do agree. Black history, Native American Indian history is important as well. My husband is Native American ancestry. And so yes, it's very important that Americans and the people that live here, the vast population of America need to know of its history.
Thank you all so very much for sharing this. I feel empowered, and as we learn and educate ourselves, don't let it go in and out the other end. Let's actually do something, because if we don't, we basically become complicit, like the professor said. So thank you. We've posted more resources on how to be active in the fight against racism. Please follow and look at that. And just thank you all so much for giving us your time and giving us your thoughts. And I trust that this will continue to empower our MC community to do more. So thank you so much.